6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. Prime Minister says beginning of process to fix economy's long-term ailments has been started by presenting balanced budget. Finance Minister has said budget is focusing on growth to improve macroeconomic indicators and create job opportunities. Foreign Minister has urged international community to engage with Afghan interim authorities in best interest of everyone. Cyclonic Biparjoy in the East Central Arabian Sea has maintained its intensity and is currently located at 910 kilometers south of Karachi. Approval of controversial float in Canada depicting assassination of former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi has sparked anger in India. The bill to combat Islamophobia across the world has been reintroduced in the US Congress to address the staggering rise in Islamophobia incidents. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif says the beginning of the process to fix the economy's long-term ailments has been started through presenting balanced budget. In a tweet today, he said the coalition government has prioritized the right areas that have been potential to spur economic growth, attract investment and make the economy self-sufficient. The Prime Minister said making of the budget was particularly a difficult task in view of the persistent challenges arising out of the floods-related relief and rehabilitation, global supply chain disruptions and geostrategic upheavals. He said a more balanced budget that levies no more tax could not have been possible within the existing constraints. Finance Minister Ishaq Dar has said the budget is focusing on growth to improve macroeconomic indicators and create job opportunities. Addressing the post-budget news conference in Islamabad today, he said the budget envisages several measures for agriculture, small and medium enterprises and information technology sectors to achieve the objective of economic growth. The Finance Minister said the growth target of 3.5% set by the next financial year is easily achievable. He said the IMF expects 3.5%, while Bloomberg and Fitch both project it at 4%, which means the government have set a modest and doable target. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has said Pakistan and Iraq have immense potential for economic and security cooperation besides cultural and religious engagements. In an interview with Al Jazeera TV, he said both countries have more enhanced cooperation in security and defense as the two nations have faced the menace of terrorism and they can learn from each other. He said once an IMF program is in place, Pakistan will receive more resources from multilateral bodies as pledged by them to help Pakistan's flood-hit people. Replying a question regarding Afghanistan, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari said Pakistan asked the interim government in Kabul to fulfill their pledges with the international community, including honoring women's rights and ensuring that their soil should not be used by terrorists. He, however, urged the international community to engage with the Afghan interim authorities as a stable and prosperous Afghanistan is in the best interest of everyone. Pakistan and Kazakhstan have agreed to further expand bilateral cooperation in the fields of energy, agriculture, information technology, textiles, and energy. The understanding came during a telephonic conversation between Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif with the President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev of Kazakhstan today. Prime Minister underscored that Pakistan deeply valued its bilateral relations with Afghanistan, characterizing Pakistan as an important country in the region. The President of Kazakhstan expressed his country's desire to further strengthen their long-standing bilateral ties. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Hina Rabbani Kar concluded a two-day visit to Denmark and Finland today. In Finland, she met her counterpart, State Secretary for Foreign Affairs. In her meeting with the Minister for Development, Cooperation and Global Policy Climate, Don Jangsper, the two ministers agreed on mutual benefits of cooperation in renewable energy sector under the Green Framework Engagement Agreement. In this regard, the Minister of State looked forward to the upcoming visit of Minister John Spur to Pakistan next week and assured him of full cooperation. Pakistan Navy ship Tipu Sultan visited Port Makassar, Indonesia for participation in multinational exercises Komodo 23. According to the press release issued by Pakistan Navy today, the visit of Pakistan naval ship is aimed at strengthening bilateral ties, enhancing interoperability and exploring new vistas of cooperation between the navies of both countries. This is Radio Pakistan. The very severe cyclonic storm Biparjoy in the East Central Arabian Sea has maintained its intensity and is currently located at approximately 910 km south of Karachi, 890 km south of Thatta, and 990 km southeast of Urmara. According to the National Disaster Management Authority, the cyclone is moving northeastward with maximum sustained service wind of 120 to 130 km per hour and gust of 150 km per hour near its center. Indian troops continue their massive cordon and search operation in several districts of Jammu region of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, subjecting the residents to severe harassment. The troops and paramilitary personnel, along with members of dreaded militia village defense guards, carry out searches from time to time, mostly in the residences of Muslims in several towns and villages of Poonch, Rajouri, Kishtwar, Doda, Ramban, Jammu, Raisi, and Kahuta districts. Meanwhile, posters remembering the victims of a Chota Bazar massacre appeared again in Srinagar on the eve of their martyrdom anniversary. The personnel of Indian Paramilitary Central Reserve Police Force has martyred more than 30 people, including women and children, by resorting to indiscriminate fire in Chota Bazar area of Srinagar on June 11, 1991. The approval of controversial float in Canada depicting the assassination of former Prime Minister Narendra Gandhi has sparked anger in India. In 1984, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated by Sikh bodyguards after she granted permission for the attack on the Golden Temple, resulted in the deaths of numerous Sikhs, including women and children. Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, representing Sikh for Justice, said that these injustices continue to persist in this day, with Sikh in Canada also becoming targets without substantial evidence. In Turkey, at least 5 people have been killed at a rocket and explosive plant in an outskirts of Ankara. According to Turk officials, the explosion was likely to have been caused by a chemical reaction during the production of dynamite. In Somalia, over 20 people have been killed and dozens injured in a mortar shell explosion in the country's Shabelle region. Most of the victims include children. Iran has denied report of nearing interim nuke deal with United States of America. Iranian mission in the United Nations clarified that an interim deal for replacing the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action is not on the agenda. The bill to combat Islamophobia across the world has been reintroduced in the United States Congress to address the staggering rise in Islamophobic incidents. Democratic lawmakers including Ilhan Omar, Cory Booker, and Jan Shakre have presented the bill titled Combating Global Islamophobia Bill. It requires the State Department to designate a special envoy for monitoring on combating Islamophobia across the world and devise a comprehensive strategy in this regard. The bill is supported by 21 members of Congress. Meanwhile, the United States has announced an additional $2.1 billion aid for Ukraine. In a statement, the Defense Department said that aid reflects the United States' continued commitment to bolster capabilities of Ukrainian armed forces for defending their territory. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, very hot in plain areas. Dust, thunderstorm, rain with isolated heavy storm is likely in central Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, eastern Balochistan and Kashmir. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.